And good Friday evening, Southeast Texas. Hope you enjoyed the warm afternoon. Very spring-like across the area as we saw westerly winds help to drive temperatures up this afternoon. Got mostly clear skies out there. A little bit of smoke from a fire in through deep East Texas and those northerly winds just above the surface helping to drive that into our area. Regardless, we're expecting a cold night across Southeast Texas as temperatures will likely drop into the mid to upper 40s. This view courtesy of Provalis of those clear skies, which is part of the Roofing 911 Sky Cam network. As far as your allergy report, very high level cedar tree pollen over the area right now, otherwise low grass and low mold across our region. So here's your weather headlines. This weekend we're looking at actually cold nights and warm afternoons, lots of sun, low humidity. We will see a warming trend right on through the end of the 7-day forecast. It'll be dry coming up on Monday, and after that, we'll start to see a chance of showers coming up on Tuesday. But every night, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, looks like that will be foggy conditions across Southeast Texas due to sea fog. Otherwise, a few showers are expected Tuesday. And then another possible round coming up the 13th. But again, looks like a lot of that's going to be well to our north. So we'll just go with a 20% coverage across our area. Otherwise, as I said, a lot of modeling is pointing towards foggy mornings. I don't expect any fog coming up as we head on into the weekend. Now, this is Monday morning. This will be, we may have to issue weather impact alerts for this coming up Sunday night into Monday. Again on Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So get used to foggy weather conditions as we head through the next 7 days, especially early next week, I should say. So our normal high right now is 66. That jumps up to 67 as we head on into early next week, as climatologically speaking, we're above the coldest point of the year. But here in Beaumont, every day looks like 4 to 10 degrees warmer than normal, with highs well into the 70s, maybe not so much tomorrow, but well into the low to mid 70s as we head on into the mid part of next week across much of the area. So rainfall, yeah, we're gonna get some coming up on Tuesday, and I believe this is a European model, and I believe it's a little too wet coming up as we head towards next Friday, which is our day 7. So we're gonna go with 20% coverage. I have a idea that it's not going to be that much. Otherwise, again, about a 30, maybe 40% coverage on Tuesday. No rain until then. Wednesday and Thursday, we get a break. Friday, a lot of modeling says, no, not going to be that much of a deal. Probably only a 20% coverage at most at this point across our area. So right now, we're dropping into the 60s on the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop under clear skies. As you can see, temperatures are running a good 10 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago because of those westerly winds and highs getting up to around 80 degrees across our area. Look at that, 80 degrees or thereabouts across our area this afternoon. Very, very spring-like. You may have had to flip on the air conditioning this afternoon, kind of cool it down a little bit. Right now, we are watching a front off towards our north, and that will slide through our area tonight. We're not expecting any precipitation with this, and very little as far as eventful weather is expected out of this, except there's going to be a wind shift back to the north and east as we head towards tomorrow morning. Still very mild across central Texas into the mid to upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Currently 73 in Houston, Dallas at 77, so San Antonio, Austin though at 80 degrees. And as you can see, very quiet weather. It's just basically a wind shift. The winds are going to become northeast behind as this front passes through our area. You'll see that on Futurecast here in just a minute. But Texas is almost devoid of any cloudiness. And as you can see, Futurecast showing those clear skies overnight. Then here comes the front. Look how the winds shift around. No clouds with it, no rainfall as those winds become northeasterly. Yeah, we'll see mid to upper 40s coming up tomorrow morning. So it'll be a cold start. And then during the afternoon, we should see lots of sun, and that will push afternoon high temperatures into the upper 60s to lower 70s as we're expecting very low humidity levels across Southeast Texas. And that's because we're watching a ridge of high pressure that has developed, that will develop over the state, and will continue to do so as we put this into motion. you'll see that ridge of high pressure over the Lone Star State this weekend. And that ridge of high pressure will bring us those warming temperatures. We'll also be watching upper level low pressure. This is by Sunday afternoon, and that upper low will be over the Baja. And so we'll put this into motion. It's fairly strong right now, but as we see that this weakens up, it opens up into a trough or a short wave, and that'll be moving through our area as we head towards Tuesday late into Tuesday night. Then behind that quiet weather, then we get another disturbance coming out of the southwest. And some of the modeling that I've seen continue to further weaken this, and that's why we're not going to go with much of a chance of rain as we head towards next Friday. We're looking at not just one model, but several different models, some AI new modeling that has become available to us. Kind of keeps that off to the north as far as the rain chances. Otherwise, on the Gulf, looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet in your coastal marine forecast tomorrow. Not bad as far as boating. An easterly wind is expected in the nearshore waters at 10 to 15 knots, water temperature at 59 degrees. Our forecast tonight, clear and cold. The winds will shift to the northeast as we head towards morning, mid-40s in the lakes and to the mid to upper 40s in the triangle. Then for tomorrow, upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Lots of sun. It'll be mild with northeast winds in the morning turning southeasterly in the afternoon. And your weather impact 7-day forecast, again, can't say much enough about how beautiful the weekend's going to look, but Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning will be foggy to some degree across the area because of the southerly component of the winds each morning. That's going to be dragging in a relatively warm, moist air mass over the cold near-shore waters, and that causes sea fog to form. And then with the south winds, that brings it on into I-10 and to a lesser extent up in the lakes area, but still could be some dense fog up that way. Regardless, we're going to be watching that disturbance come on in late Tuesday, and that shows it weakening, but maybe a 30, possibly 40% coverage. We get a break on Wednesday and Thursday, and then again on Friday, may see a slight chance of showers, but right now it looks like the stronger of the two systems is going to be on Tuesday across our area. And that is your weather impact 7-day forecast. Again, it's not a lot going on, pretty quiet over the next 7 days. We do have a couple rounds of rain, but again, it's the warming temperatures and also the potential for fog as we head towards next week. I don't think we'll see any fog as we work on into the weekend because the air mass will be dry. Very high levels of tree pollen, by the way, on your allergy report. And your weather headlines, again, pretty good looking weekend. It'll be cold each morning this weekend, but the afternoon should be in the upper 60s to lower 70s with lots of sun and low humidity. We'll see a warming trend much of next week, and it should be dry through at least Monday. Now, afternoon highs will be in the 70s. Now, as we head on into, say, late Tuesday into Tuesday night, we should see a scattering of showers across the area as an upper level disturbance moves on in. We get a break on, say, Wednesday and Thursday. Another chance of showers is expected by the 13th, but I don't see any Arctic air over the next 7 days. Looks very mild. Now, as I was saying, the weekend's not going to be an issue for fog. Monday, to an extent, maybe Tuesday, this fog over towards our east could be a little closer. This is just one run. So there's still some changes. Some patchy fog Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning. So that's what you're going to have to deal with on your morning commute next week. It's just we're going to be in fog season because we've had several fronts go through this winter, and especially the last one, and of course the cold outbreak that we had around the 26th, that has really cooled off the near water temperatures. So when you get a return flow or a southerly flow off the Gulf that's laden with moisture and relatively warm, it's cooled to condensation level, and that is indicative of producing fog, and the pattern suggests foggy mornings next week. So above normal temperatures, at least here in Beaumont, are expected every day over the next 7 days to the tune of about 4 to 10 degrees, so very spring-like weather. And again, I like what the Europeans doing on the front end of the forecast, but then on the second part, I think this is a little bit overdone. Could be maybe a half an inch in spots, but again, about a 30, maybe 40% coverage, but I think we'll keep it just at a 20% coverage coming up next Friday. Otherwise, pretty quiet night across the area. We are going to be watching a front push on through the area as we got up to 80 degrees this afternoon. Not going to do that this weekend, as this front will be pushing through and it'll be moving through with a very quiet note overnight. All it is basically a wind shift as the winds become northeasterly behind it as we head towards morning, looking at lows into the mid to upper 40s, maybe around 50. And then tomorrow, beautiful weather coming up tomorrow afternoon with high temperatures into the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. As I was saying, a nice ridge of high pressure is expected over the course of this weekend. You can see it right there over the Lone Star State, and that extends back to the front range of the Rockies, and that is very indicative of warming temperatures, dry weather, ridge of high pressure. But we're also watching this upper level low pressure system off the Southern California coastline that we'll have to contend with, and that could be maybe a shower maker as we head on into late Tuesday into Tuesday night. As that weakens, it opens up into what we call a short wave. It's not a singular ball of low pressure, and that trough short wave will move through, dragging a chance of showers in the forecast. I don't think it's going to be heavy or severe. Ridge of high pressure as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday, so no rain there. And then some of the new modeling that we're looking at takes this weakening short wave mainly up towards the Red River, and it continues to weaken. So we're not going to go very high on rain chances as we head towards Friday the 13th. On the Gulf, looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet tomorrow. Should be good boating conditions. Easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots are expected. Water temperature down to 59. High tides at 8:15 a.m. at Sabine Pass and 6:13 p.m. Our forecast tonight, clear and cold. Winds will be shifting towards the north and east as that front pushes on in. Should see low temperatures into the mid-40s lakes and into the mid to upper 40s here in the Triangle. Beautiful weather coming up tomorrow afternoon. Low humidity. You'll need jackets in the morning, but you won't in the afternoon, as high temperatures will likely reach the upper 60s to around 70 degrees under sunny skies. And again, we'll see generally easterly winds, but they will be turning to the southeast as that high quickly moves away from our area. So the weather impacts 7-day forecast. Saturday looking fantastic. Sunday, notice the south to southeast winds returning. Lots of sun and the lower 70s. So it should be a good looking Sunday. Monday, a foggy morning is expected across southeast Texas with those south winds. That's going to be dragging in moisture and helping us to produce foggy mornings every day through the next 7 days. 74, not bad. 73 on Tuesday. We'll go with a 30% coverage of showers on Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night across the area. Again, this will be a weakening disturbance, so we're not really anticipating any severe weather out of this. It's just going to be showers, about a 30 to 40% coverage as that will go by. And then as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday, look at those temperatures back up into the mid 70s as a ridge of high pressure begins building on in. Again, every morning is going to be having fog. Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning to some degree or another. It could be dense, it could be patchy. Forecasting fog is about one of the more difficult things to have to deal with. So it's going to be basically nowcasting is what we're going to be doing. The day before we'll have a better idea, or at least 2 days out we ought to have a better idea of how thick the fog is, but it's going to be